Good evening, heroes and heroines. It is the evening, and welcome to Practicing Programming in C, where we're just doing Cinera's config file parsers error messaging stuff. To point out that we've got only 20.2 gigabytes of space remaining, so I'm about to be a bit careful that we don't actually go too long and run out of disk drive space. But yeah, we should be fine though. It'll probably be about 2 to 4 gig, I reckon we should be occupying after today's stream. So yeah, config file parsing. I think that that's all we're doing here. Warning and error messages is what we're actually doing. And I think that's all we need to be doing. I don't think there's anything else that's pressing to do. That's a warning question. Like there's like a config error something in there. Do you want to send in multiple generations? I don't know. I think we're going to just decide that today, I think. Find the trip to the main config. Get the editor version of those. I need to check that an owner even exists, and one needs it if they don't. And yeah, we totally are doing exactly what we need to be doing there. Right. Looping through everybody. Are we? Oh, actually, maybe we're not. Yeah, we're not actually doing that, are we? Climb the tree up to the main config scope and get the owner's information from there. And where are we? This. Yeah, resolve local variable. So you've hit a local variable in the parse tree. The parse tree will not have absorbed it. It will not have absorbed people. For the scope pair count. Well, it's taking the scope tree scope. See what the look could you handle. Parents. I have there's one single call to resolve local variable. Resolve string. Medium tree. So I think I'm seeing what's going to kind of happen to push the ports. So yeah, if we've got an owner, that's pushing a project on. So it's going to be one of these, isn't it? It's going to be this here. Get person. Hang on a minute. That resolve string function was talking about the owner, wasn't it? Ident owner. Right, so I see. We're not actually setting the owner. What we're talking about is if you've got something like, for example, well, this isn't person, is it? We're not talking about the person, we're talking about right, this is what we're talking about here. So you've got an owner variable being used. You can only have an owner of a project, and a project itself should contain an owner, right? So that can only be used it only makes sense to use that in a project scope. So I guess we don't need to climb the tree. Because that should mean that it just resolves to that. And if we go through all the pairs within this project scope, then we should, if it's set, find the right thing. So we don't need to climb the tree. Right? Because wherever, even if this is set out here, right, even if that's set out there, so it applies to this project and all its children, setting this here would still pull this in, because when you come into here, we'll have absorbed the owner. So I don't think that this is actually true. I don't think we need to climb the tree at all. Checking that the owner even exists is worth doing though, and we do, and tell them that they don't, so I think that's fine. I think that is fine. So let us see what the local variables we can handle us to do this. Still going. Title list, yeah. This is the pointers, parent pointers, that it's called. Yeah, okay, so what we need is basically a print error function. I'd like us to be printing out line numbers and the file name and the error and the token that it relates to. And maybe we could print out the entire line containing a token. Depending on the type of token, depending on the type of error that it is. And I also think that we want to enable everybody to be able to print out lines. So that means that, like, the resolve variables or resolve local, I mean, even I guess, you know where you get we do the get log level from string, unknown log level. I mean, does this want to take an actual token? Right. So pass the entire value to it. Because that's a token. Then we could enable these guys also to print out the line number. might be something we want to do. And in fact, that we could just trivially just do that right now. Just let it take the entire token. And then it'll be the S contents. What was the other get things? Get something from string. So get config identifier from string. This doesn't need to error anything. Is that true? Do they just need to error? Yeah, I mean this outer function kind of errors. So it's returning as well. Parse rule string. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Because if we've got into here, and this doesn't need to do anything, then nothing else will happen after it anyway. So this return is redundant. Completely redundant, isn't it? Oh no, we're in a for loop. So it's possible that we might actually want to allow these things to build up. You know, just like stuff all the errors onto like a stream essentially, and then go through the actual parse as far as you can, even to the end if possible. I mean, I guess if there's syntax errors, you can't really. Can you resolve stuff? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, just going through as much as the parse as you can, and then finally just printing out all the errors in one go. Let's start off, first of all, by just doing the most basic thing, which is essentially just going to be a standard error function, and then just like build it up as we need it, I guess. Yeah, it would make sense for this to have line numbers. So you can say that you know, this particular setting on this line ain't up to snuff. similarly, this get both from string. Get numbering scheme from string. Yep, same deal. I mean, there's only a few, isn't there? I was going to say it's like a standard way, a standard thing that happens to all these guys. Well, I mean, obviously it's a standard way, but is there like a way that I could do it non-manually? Okay, so they're all doing that. So the upshot of all of that is that a token is going to take, it's going to contain like the line number. I mean, we can add it. No harm, is there? And then I guess push token happens there, print tokens there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're going to need print token. Clearly it's going to have to be above the tokenizer so that we can actually call it, isn't it? Yeah, going to have to do one here, unhandled character. It's kind of going to be an interesting error. It's going to be like a single character, isn't it? So yeah, it's a particular character on that line. It'd be nice if you could, you know, in this particular case, it'd be nice if we were actually printing out the entire line and then just sort of saying this particular character we're not happy with. Any time space happening right up here, is it? Well, I mean, I remember the days when that was down right near Maine. So where are the next big things? Push scope. Yeah, this isn't even particularly big. Parse rule string has a load of these errors, interestingly. Yeah, the scope tokens is the big one. Syntax error. So there aren't many places really that are going to be calling this thing. One thing we will need to do, so that resolve variables and resolve string can actually, well, we're not going to print this out because that's not necessarily. Or this print string call, not necessary. So maybe resolve string itself won't actually call the error printer, but resolve local variable will. This no owner set thing. Is there anything else? Config error variable cannot be resolved. Okay. Okay. So let's go for it. Where was the first person that we wanted to maybe use an error function? Yeah, I mean, read value to buffer could even error, couldn't it? Although I guess that's not going to be a specific. It's not going to be a kind of error that is taking a token and a token that contains a line number. I think Tokenizer was the first person, wasn't it? Yeah, unhandled character. Okay. So let's just call it error. And I reckon we want to take the token. Now we will want to take the file name as well. Which in some ways kind of suggests that you want to actually, if we're going to be taking a token, maybe we want to split these out actually. So although we are going to store the line number in the token, just so it's stored with the actual thing that it's supposed to be with. And also, now think about it, if you've got something like this, what's that supposed to mean? I guess you just don't allow that. Because the rule is when you enter a string, I mean, this is completely bogus. I don't think we should ever handle anything like this at all. A variable that's got a new line in it. But let's just say that it was like that. I mean, our rule is that we just go from double quote to double quote. So you start from here, and you just continue going until you see this. Maybe you just don't care. So yeah, I think we should reasonably be able to guarantee, or assume rather, that a token that comes in like this, which itself contains this variable, I think we should reasonably be able to assume that this string is on the same line as this whole token. Right. But what's kind of driving out in terms of breaking out the breaking out the actual string from the token is so that we can talk about stuff like that separately. So yeah, let's do that. Let's say that the string is going to be the actual, I mean, it's kind of like the content in some ways. Line number. And then let's have a string for the message, or should we have something for the message? And also, should we say what kind of a message, what kind of an error it is? Whether it is an error or a warning. So an error will be something that prevents the whole thing from parsing, and a warning will be a thing that doesn't prevent it from parsing, kind of. I mean, also, rather than taking a message, it could be interesting if, like, we just take an enum. It's like, what kind of an error it is. I'm not sure if we want to go quite that far. Right, yes, if I want to do a string into this, I'll just do the pointer into the B pointer. Set the length to 1. I think that should be sufficient. Although that ain't going to handle new lines, is it? Unicode, rather. So there is that. Let's say we have a... Well, do we even have the error type? Or it's like the severity, isn't it? Yeah, we do have a log level. So we've got error and warning. Log error, log warning. Maybe we don't really use them. Because it's kind of a different thing, isn't it? Where's colorize? I've still got that in here. That's on line 69. And we're down at 6. Okay. So let's do this for the first error here. So print C. Passing that. We don't have the line number. So we need to get that somewhere. And we're saying that this is now a warning, wasn't it? And the message is right. Token set. Tokens. So yeah, results. So I guess this tokens thing could contain the current line. And then whenever you set a thing, you know, whenever you do a push token, wherever the hell that happens. Oh, it's down at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah, push token. Whenever you do a push token, onto the result, this result is already going to know what line you're on. We don't bother to push comments onto the token list. Yeah, so I think I might need this sort of idea of raw tokens and non-raw tokens, so that I can actually talk about. Well, actually, I don't need that, do I? I just need to make sure that when I encounter a comment, that I correctly detect new lines. And also I don't think I can do it any more concisely than that, can I? Yeah, we don't have the thingamajig, do we? The file name. Or this file path. And do we store that anywhere? We do in the tokens. So the tokens file. And we did say that we wanted the separate content. So you recall that we plan to store the line number in the tokens, right? So we could conceivably just take the entire tokens and then pull the file path and the line number out of there. Current index. So we've got the file, the current line. The token is going to contain the line number. So when we do the tokenize, let's just say that the results file buffer for there, skip white space. Yeah, I'll have to set the thing before there. So the results. I mean, in some ways, push tokens probably should do this. And then here, token set. Yeah, it's the tokens. So, file name and line number. I think let's draw the file name in cyan and the line number, I don't know. But it might be nice to indicate the severity using colour as well. I think that was the point of passing the severity, so that I could draw it in different colours. So let's just first of all print some stuff. File name is just a car star. Also, errors isn't actually not passing the tokens, are we yet? It gives results. Okay. So the formatting is the thing that we're going to be sorting out in this function. We're going to see exactly how we want to print this thing. So we've got the file name, the message, print string C, content. But the thing is, if the severity equals S error, then we do CS error. What we're not printing the line number. So this is the content. Is that reasonable? Actually, I'll tell you what, it's probably not. Because if you think about it, this error is going to be taking... we're going to be wanting to use this error function in places where the tokens aren't even available to us. So yeah, I'm going to take that back and say that we actually just want to pass those things separately. Is that true? Because basically we're going to have this resolve local variables function also wanting to pass those things. And we shouldn't want to be having this taking the tokenizer. Should we? Yeah, like these guys are only taking the scope tree. Why are the tokens ever being used? Oh, it's in scope tokens, isn't it? So yeah, it's only up to here that the token set is even being passed. It's going to exist until we get down to free token set. So a tokens set, as we just established, contains tokens. It contains these tokens. Tokens themselves contain a file. A file contains a file name. So I think we could be within our rights when we do scope tokens and we're pushing these dudes on. We could make like push pair Well, it's this tokens, isn't it? This pushback could take the tokens. And then it pushes on a pointer to the tokens file name. So everybody knows who they've got, who the thing is. Resolve variables that will have all of those pairs in the scope tree. So this person will then also, in its turn, have that information available to it. I think that's what we want to be doing. Right, so rather than having these individual tokens be propagated down and token sets, let's have, or rather than having the bundled up tokens having to make their way into the error thing, let's instead say file name and line number, and also and the file name. I think this is it, more like what we want. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually have any unhandled characters, do we? So this particular error probably will never even get encountered. So let's go and go somewhere where we can actually exhibit this thing. Dest equals 0. So I'm passing expect token. So fortunately this person has the tokens, so we can use that. The content will be the dest. What is it? Token strings type, apparently. We'll have to wrap Z that, or wrap 0 rather, won't we? this is expected token. This is CS failure. So when we see expect token, is this an error? This is an error, isn't it? As in like a fatal one. Oh, gosh. Let's throw this up above the error function. Token strings type incompatible argument for argument 3 of it. Oh, it's a pointer to a string. So we should be able to exhibit this, shouldn't we? If we just sort of do this. Cool. So print string C. Now, we probably don't want to do this necessarily. Expected token that. So really, if we're expecting this, then we're this isn't the source of an error. We should be saying we expected that, but we actually got something or other, something else. Expect token is always setting the token. Oh no, it's not. Because we were just seeing that it could set it to 0. So possible string assignment. So we've got the T. It's going to be the T at the current index, isn't it? I think that's what we're talking about. So rather than passing the content, so yeah, I guess there's a couple of things here, isn't there? It's like expected token blah, but we got this. So yeah, what we're saying is that we received this, but we should have been we were actually expecting to find this particular thing. Yeah, but you could just say the error function just takes both of them separately. So it's like right. I know this might not necessarily be applicable for all of the errors. So what sort of errors are we going to be having? Invalid this there. Syntax error. Saw this. If we have a desired thing, then we expected the desired string. And this is going to be 0, is it maybe? I think actually it's going to be the other way around. So we received that, but we desired the content. Um, I mean, how did other things do it? This does the new line down there. So we're desiring a something. Yeah, I guess. Do that in green, just to indicate that that's the correct thing. Sorry. Received should be that, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? It expected that. Syntax error. We don't have the line number. Oh, the line number is up here. Yeah. So expected error, expected that before that token. I mean, is that just how you type it? Expected that. They're also printing out the whole thing, aren't they? They're indicating where that needs to be. Maybe the expectation thing needs a special error. What happens if you do something that's even more bogus? So there's no thingamajig. I mean, this is supposedly correct. Why would you do this? Static declaration. Oh, that's going to count as if we'd done that. Expected that before tokens. Okay. So the next tokens that he saw was tokens. I mean, let's just do that. The standard thing here is going to be the file and line number. So let's just do that. that's exactly the same. And then let's just do a I mean, in some ways, like, why bother having a separate thing? It's like, expect. Rather do an error like this. Well, I mean, I guess why not? And then, because we know that it's that, and we know that an expectation is going to have the error type. So what is this content here? This is the expected string, isn't it? Expected. I mean, I guess we could just do the new line. And then we need to finally actually new line that out. So yeah. Let's actually get these lines getting a bit more right. Oh, also, I think when this push tokens, by the way, the current line should be 1, shouldn't it? That should start off as 1. Because there's no line 0 in a file. Where is it? It's in results. current line, wasn't it? So this is within a comment, isn't it? Yeah. So we should at least encounter some of that. Yeah, so now we've got line 50, 35. We'll see. Oh. So while it's not a new line, it couldn't be pointer. If it is a new line, then we don't bother to increment. Token comment multi-open. So also skip white space. We'll need to increment that, won't it? I guess it's a little bit unfortunate that this is going to be doing an if check within a while. Change our line count at all? 196. Now is that at all plausible? We should be on line 62. So we're clearly overdoing it, aren't we? It's probably this, isn't it, really? That is not a 162, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? Because it should be on line 62, but we've got the 1 in front of it. How are we printing it again? So we're printing out the file. Should we print out the line number as a long unsigned and the file name? Okay, so the push tokens is going to start off with the thing at 1. Skip white space. So skip white space is the only person that's going to be doing this thing here. Well, it's a new line. Well, it's a space, a new line, or a tab. If the B point is a new line, then increment the current line, then go past it. I mean, I guess we could step in to see what happens. So we're on the first thing here. Really, that's what? That's pretty printing, is it? Okay. Yeah, it is. So the current line is 1. So it was none of those things, apparently. Yeah, it wasn't, was it? It's just a slash. I suppose also I should really split out that line so I can actually see what's going on there. So let's do that. So, if that is that, what are we on here? We're on a new line. So this is the person. Current line is now... I mean, clearly that's wrong as well, by the way, because we haven't actually handled new lines. Hold on a second. The buffer location. We had this. Pass to the end of the comments. So yeah, we haven't handled this, but we are now handling this. Current line is now 2. Or should we sit on the P? Yeah, we're sitting on the P there. So we're going to encounter that. I suppose let us just handle that. Comment single. So it's basically, well, I mean, it was here, wasn't it? I think, yeah, when you go through all of these, although, yes, there is a skip white space at the end, down here, although there is this, we should still have to... Wow, really? We should still have to... actually maybe not. Because it's only while this is this that it increments. So we're not going to get past the new line character. So we will be able to get down right to here. Let's get white space should detect that we've hit a new line. But that didn't happen, did it? Let's run it again. So let's run to tokenize. Current line is 1. So we're going to try skipping white space, but there isn't any white space. So we go past the, just double check that the tokens is current line is still 1. Skip white space, now they're in a comment single. I mean, we're not going to count any white space until we hit, sorry, we're not going to encounter a new line until we've done all of this. Yeah, let's just get rid of that just for a moment. So we step out. Let us continue until we've actually got out of this comment. Now let's skip into step white space. So interestingly, we're sitting on the second new line character. Oh, advance. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I still don't understand exactly why we're getting too many new lines recorded. So yeah, I suppose it is the responsibility. I suppose it's the responsibility of these guys up here to actually increment that line number. Yeah, which is just begging the question, like, where are we getting so many extra ones from? Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe we're not. So this is the error, isn't it? So this is on line 112. So we should be getting 112 here. But we're getting a lot more than that. So is that even plausible? Like, increment to current line gives us 196 where it should be 112. Not incrementing it gives us 162, so that's the difference of 34. Are there 34 comments in this function? In this file, rather. I mean, surely there must be, mustn't there? That must at least be true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That shouldn't get counted. 33, 34. The error's up here, wasn't it? The error's there. So I think I just counted 33, 34. So that's approximately right, isn't it? 32. I was saying that skip white space is the person responsible. So it sort of seems like skipping doesn't necessarily mean that we're actually getting past the character. you know, so we're over counting. We're calling skip white space too many times. This calls it here. Comment single. Hang on a minute. Why is the comment single bothering to skip white space? The string length of the token strings, token comment single. So we're skipping past the 2 dashes. Like, why is it doing that? Surely all it cares about is getting to the end of the line, doesn't it? Similarly, why is token comment multi-open bothering to skip white space? Oh, hang on. Maybe that was reasonable actually, because basically the idea was you'd encounter the comment, and the thinking was that this was the content of the comment. You know, from pair bones and there, simply that is the content, and we just skip it out the things. But that still suggests that it's wrong, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Like this one here. Skipping white space. Why does that make a difference? Because you skip past the things. I mean, essentially, what this seems to be saying is that you've got a line that only contains the 2 slashes. Oh, we do. Hold on a second. You come into a comment here. Yeah, that probably was it. Well, that's not one. So it was probably these 2, wasn't it? So we skip the white space. While B pointer is equal to B pointer. So we enter a single line comment. We skip past the double slashes. we then skip past the white space, which in this case is going to be a new line. And in skipping past that new line, we increment the line number. Well, that is not a new line. Oh, shit. Hold on a second. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we just completely bogusly parsing. Like, what happens if I just delete these two lines here? How does that affect our count? Okay, he's just affected by 2. But do you see what I was sort of thinking? Like, sort of seems like skip white space shouldn't be its own thing. Bloody hell. Sorry, it sort of seems like skip white space shouldn't actually handle new lines. New line should be handled elsewhere. Is that true? Push token. Right. Oh, right, yeah, we need a new line token. Maxi Lurk. Good to see you, Jesse. Token new line. Yeah. He is. He totally is. Martin Mazeko. He's like he's a national treasure, really. The actual omniscient, yeah. And he's like a really I mean, I hope he's not watching because he'll probably just get really embarrassed. But he's a really sweet guy as well, because you know, we met at Handmade Con, the second one, and yeah, just a really nice guy, full of kind of, I want to say fun, but it's like really like, I guess curiosity really is the thing. So still isn't getting us anywhere. So if it's a new line, the current base, maybe we'll need the token length as well. Yeah. Push token, does that handle things weirdly? I guess skip white space. Potentially. It just never gets us past new lines now, maybe? Oh right, we're not actually pushing the tokens on. Although I don't think that should be causing us a problem, should it? So advance by the advancement, push token. So this is whiling away the years. B pointer, content base. So that's incrementing past that. Oh, we might be getting stuck here, mightn't we? Oh, we totally will be. Although, well, hold on a second. Advancement equals 1 should get us past it, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it? I mean, rather than having to do this. See how that affects my anything. So yeah, I'm peaking the CPU 3, that one. We're not hitting the unhandled character. We're pushing on the comments. And then we're trying to advance. So I've got an extra semicolon there for someone. Surely that isn't a problem. What did I have for lunch? 20, 21:30. Yeah, it is, yeah. What did I have? I had like a sort of it's basically a chili, really. Um, yeah, it was a chili. Kind of a bean chili it was. I don't think it was flagello beans. Um, or flageolet. Common bean. Yeah, it wasn't these guys. It was a kind of bean though. Cornbread, cool. Oh, they might be kidney beans. That's what they might have been. Well, possibly, I don't know. So they weren't peas. Peas are pony dry beans. Cornbread. Oh, Native American cuisine. Huh. Hush puppies. I do like rotties. At least I think I do. Jiffy mix. Yeah, I don't think we really have cornbread in the UK. It's very very American, really, isn't it? Place of origin, US. Yeah. Crackling bread. Those have great names. Oh, it's pork cracklings, okay. I see. So, yeah, right. We're getting stuck somewhere. All we're trying to do is counter the number of new lines. Which I just, yeah, I can imagine. It's kind of hilarious, really, because like it's ages since I've even done this tokenization part of the process. So if I think of a new line, took a new line, the base is going to be there. The length of the content is that. The result is the current line. Oh, hold on a second. Could it be possible that the expect tokens fail? Well, actually, no. We shouldn't get down to that situation, should we? Should we just step in and just see where we're getting stuck? Or I guess we could just print the thing, couldn't we? So it's surely this loop where we're getting into a tangle. So it's new lines. So we're printing off new lines. So we're apparently just getting into this thing here. We are encountering this, but we're not advancing past the new line. Does that sound fair? Token new line. Content base is equal to the B pointer. Length is 1. Result plus the current line. Alt advancement is 1. So we want to push on this token that we've just created. T-type. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, if I just bump this up to 2, it gets us past it, but it's not correct. So a type is a member variable. It's not really. It's just a name. So I know what you're talking about. It's yeah, this thing here. It's not actually a type. It's literally where can I show it? Where will this be? Set token. So yeah, it's just this. You literally just call. You just give it the name that's the same thing as a type, and somehow it just manages to treat it like it's perfectly legal. So like you could actually just do. So we've got string content. You could just do string if you wanted to. That would be legal. So yeah, it just looks a bit. It just looks funny because it's getting highlighted. Yeah, I saw that in Casey's code. Just a C thing. I mean, in some ways, I don't know that it really makes a. I don't think it matters really, because if you think about it, you can only refer to members of structs through their actual parent struct, right? So there's no ambiguation. Like if you say this is equal to string to int, you know, if this equals that, there's no like ambiguity between that and this whole thing, because you need to refer, you know, you need to have prepended the actual parent information for it to mean anything. Does that make sense? So really, if a language doesn't allow you to do that, it's just like, well, they've had to figure out that the thing is actually the name of a struct, the name of a type, and explicitly sort of ruled out that you can't do that. At least that's my understanding. My guess, rather. maybe actually who could be getting tangled up here? Is it parsing wise? Yeah. But even also for like usage, for like that's where you would do it. Even usage though, like so token has a what's it got members? It's got a type, hasn't it? Like you can't like do that, can you? Because it doesn't know where the type is coming from. And like as people who write this stuff, you kind of know that you need to be able to you need to be referring to the right thing, which is only a member of this. So yeah, like I say, I just saw Casey had done it in his thing, and yeah, I had the same response as you. I was like, "What is that?" And then I sort of realised, well, yeah, it's just the name of the name of the field. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here. I guess, yeah, don't understand. Let's step through and just actually follow it. So we're in Tokenize. And what we want to be seeing is basically, so we're hitting the new line. So we're looping on this whole thing. The first thing we see is this token, is this comment. So we're going to go through this, right? I guess also I could have printed out, when I was printing out the current character, I could have potentially printed out the current line. Well, let's just continue. What did that set the advancement to? It did set the advancement to 1. So we should be pushing on this comment. And then we should be advancing by 1 character. So basically, we're sitting at the new line. So we're sitting at this new line here. We're going to push the token, advance 1, so we're sitting on the new line, this new line. Skipping white space, which isn't going to skip the new line. Right, so we were there with another new line after it. We're now here with the P after it. So now we're sitting at the new line, remember? So we should enter this branch. So the current line. So we're currently on line 2. So we're sitting here, having encountered this new line on line 2, we're increasing the current line to be 3. And we're saying that we want to advance by 1 character. So we're pushing on the dude. Again, we're at the end. The advancements. Blimey. P advancements is 1. But I guess we could select to push token, see what we're getting told. So if we So this is going to be this thing here, length of 1. Oh yeah, the line number. We need to be setting that line number in here from the tokens, but that's neither here nor there. So here we go. Advancement. So we've got a distance of 1. And we're sitting on the new line, character. Do we get in here? We do get in here. So now where are we? So we're now sitting at the P of person. Skip white space, there isn't any white space. So we should be still sitting at the same place, right? We're sitting at the person. So maybe none of this is bad yet. What is this parsing? I think we've just gone through person, haven't we? So that's not going to increment anymore. Push token. So now we should be sitting at the equal sign. Yeah. I guess we just continue to step through until we die, maybe. Well, not die, but until we just infinite loop. So we're going to go through Martin's Mosaico there. Hang on a minute. Remember I said we could have printed out the line number. Let's just do that. Oh shit, are we just not getting to the end of the file? Hang on a minute. While the point to take away the B location is less than the B size. Oh, I think I see what's happening here. When we're here, Advancement. Yeah, this is never getting us out of the file. So we're never advancing past the final character. That's the problem. Blimey. Oh dear. So advance. If pointer plus distance. Take away the B location. Is less than the B size. Then we increment the pointer. I mean, is that right? Do we not just increment the thingamajig anyway? Well, that ain't right. I think. Still don't understand why we're getting 186 lines. Oh, well, there's 257 in the file. So maybe that's fine. I guess, is it less than or equal to the size? Is that all it is? Possible that the comment people aren't doing the right thing. Push token that. Skip white space. Oh. So skip white space doesn't handle new lines. And the advanced function doesn't actually. Well, let's just get this. Also, can I not just? I mean, we don't actually know if these new lines are the right. Are actually counting for everything, do we? I suppose. Well, we've got the size, haven't we? If B pointer take with a B location equals to B size. Take away 2, right? Then I think we can actually go ahead and step right into that. And just kind of like get a feel for exactly what's kind of going on. So oh dear. Very tired, by the way. Only slept about not very much, 4 hours or something last night. Don't think I'm going to have to scarper fairly soonish, and don't know, maybe get some sleep straight away. But I believe now we're sitting at this particular character with a new line to come. So what is the advancement? That's 1, so we should be advancing past that. Skip white space isn't going to skip us past the new line. We are still within this. Current line is 186, so yeah, we're not counting up everything. Probably just within the block comments, actually. And also, do we actually increment it for the... Yeah, we do increment this here, but inside the multi-comment, we don't increment it. I mean, we could just do that easily, couldn't we? Like, this should be right, shouldn't it? So what's that done? 257. So now we've actually got all the new lines into the thing. Is that true? Yeah, that is true, isn't it? So yeah, like I say, we're sitting again at this closing brace. Advance past it, skip white space. Oh dear. Advance 0. We should be sitting at the new line. So, pushing a new line on. Base is right there. There's one. Current line. Right. So what is the B size? The B size is 7,314. And we're there. The location is... So that plus the distance is equal to our size. So we just need a way to get past that, don't we? Which surely just means if it's less than or equal to B size. Right? Because that should make B pointer take away B location be the actual size. and then get us out of this loop. But that didn't work, did it? Oh, wait a minute. It was the expect tokens. So that was right, actually, I think. So, Jesus Christ. What was the solution again? Yeah, less than or equal to thingamajig. So this is right. But where it's failing is in this expected token. So what's this? On line 3 we're expecting a token. Yeah. So we've now got comments and white space characters pushed onto the tokens thing. So the token's T. Does token is have to change to be a get token? Because you can kind of see what's going on here. Like, if I just print the tokens, we've got the 0th thing as a comment, then we've got a new line. But where we were, we needed to see an identifier. Right. So it's kind of, it does feel like a get token. So you increment. You just increment past the stuff that isn't. There's like white space and new lines. And then you see if that thing that you've arrived at is the thing that you're actually after. So it's being called by a few places. Token is. So, I mean, we could just trivially just make this say What's wrong with that? Why all that? Oh. So yeah, that gets us right through. So I guess that's just what you do. Because we did get it right the way through. We expected a semicolon, but we received apparently fuck all. Oh, it's going to be the new line. Yeah, right. So how do I handle that? Expect. Because yeah, we're using maybe that's just what you do. Skip like contentless stuff. Don't really know if that's the right thing to be doing. But I mean, we are getting through it now. And we're getting that received thing. Where's that error? I think it's up here, isn't it? So we've got a syntax error. Expected token identifier. Cool. Expected token identifier. So here we have that again. Close brace. Current index. Well, wait a minute. Didn't we just say that that should happen? This is happening. In scope tokens. That's using Tokenizer. So on line 56, I think that's what I've been told there. Or probably line 3 actually. So that reckons we're expecting a token identifier. Let's just tell that to not print out all the line numbers. So then, so 3 and then 3. So we've got an error. So what am I being shown here? Like, why are they printing out both line numbers and then messages after them? And no file name. Oh, it's not, probably just not calling error. But then where's the 3 coming from? So, well, I presume this is where we are. So init type specs. So we're getting a 3 before. We're getting a 3 before the first scope tokens. Oh, it's the break here. That's what's printing that. Jesus Christ. Right. So, scope tokens. Error expected token identifier. And a syntax error. So we're hitting. So we're going to be in the interior file because we're on the second call to scope tokens. So we've come through here and we're encountering this now. And apparently there's no parent. So this has got. I mean, is this just saying there's an error in the include file all of a sudden? I guess we could step through it. I mean, just jump straight to the error, really, isn't it? Expected token identifier. Token is. I mean, I wonder if I screwed up with the. Yeah, right. So I wonder if doing token is. If token is a token close brace. If token is an identifier, then do all of this stuff. Else, if token is a token brace. Again, though, like token is should just be skipping past the stuff that it doesn't need to be bothering with, shouldn't it? What is going on in token equals here? For this. I guess also actually we need to be saying while the token current index is less than the token count. You know, that probably has to happen, doesn't it? Because otherwise we could end up flying off the end of the array and then encountering no man's land. I mean, I suppose we could skip the. We could have skipped to the until we got after the tokens, and then we try and return the type. Well, we're trying to return this. Think here, evaluate this. On a thing that doesn't even exist. Although, shouldn't that crash? Let's step into it. Double check this actually happening. CDDP. So it's an expected token identifier. So we're into the interior thing here because we've encountered this second guy. So we're at the 319th out of 319. Remember, we have now put on that. Oh, hang on a second. So we're on the final character, the final token of the file. So, scope tokens. Oh, is it just a case of incrementing past the thing at the wrong places? So this is a bit cheesy, but I don't know if this is right. It might fix it. Um, yeah, so surely there should be a more systemic way of doing that. So I'm going over where's my for loop? So while the current index is less than the t count. Oh, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I can't really do this, can I? This needs to be a peak token, sort of an idea. Right. I can't say if token is token identifier and then go ahead and increment past it, because I'm never going to end up in a situation where I can actually see if we've hit a closing brace. So this ain't right. This token is. This is where my peak token needs to happen. And it needs to be basically saying, you know, if the next non-new line or non-comment token is a token identifier, then do this stuff. Doesn't it? Yeah, I mean the token is, it originally it literally just did that, didn't it? What happens if I don't do that actually? Select space identifier. In the exterior scope tokens. I mean, this is the problem, right? You can't be doing something that is going to. You can't be doing the same function. You can't be doing this sort of thing. If token is token string or token is token number, or like if token is t token semicolon, else if token is, you can't be doing that. If you're just going to be like moving the current token each time, because you're not going to be getting the right results. So you can't, yeah, you just can't have token is directly incrementing the thing. guess that should be fine, shouldn't it? Skip the contents list tokens. And then we should be expecting, although it's not really, I mean, it kind of is expecting this or this. So that's it. That probably encountering this here, is it? There's also one synthesizer up there. Yeah, I mean the thing is, well, maybe not actually. Yeah, it might even not be that synthesizer. Where else have we got them? Got one here. Does the expect token increment anything? It does. This increments the current index. So I think expectation, it can reasonably skip the contentless tokens. Because that moves stuff anyway. Jesus, how many of these syntaxes have I got? Right, it's this one. Okay. So it doesn't like this. If it's a semicolon. Reset feels that. So I mean, I guess we're not now hitting this one, are we? Probably hitting a different one. Yeah. So, it's getting a bit cheesy. Like you just keep having to call this skip contentless tokens before you do what token is. And you can't make token is itself. Call skip contentless tokens. Can you? Well, hold on a second. Wait a second. Why can't you? Because if you skip contentless tokens, so if the first call to token is calls skip contentless tokens, then it doesn't matter if like subsequent calls to token is also call skip contentless tokens, because we'll already skipped them, so it will be it wouldn't skip anything. And the subsequent calls to it won't skip anything. Right. So that should be okay, shouldn't it? And then the only thing to deal with is that, yeah, I mean, it was that just that cheesy old, you know, if we're not at the thingamajig thingy. Yeah, you see what I'm saying though? Like here, if token is token semicolon, right, and this person here skips contentless tokens, then we come into the function, we skip them up to up to seeing a content a contentful token, and if that token ain't a token semicolon, then we come down and do this. This person will also call skip contentless tokens, but because this person has already skipped past them for us, we should be sitting on a contentful token anyway. Right? Bit crazy, but I think that's true. So the only bit of weirdness was this thing, wasn't it? If the current index is less than the T count, then we issue this error. Otherwise, if we've got there, if we've got to the end of the file, then you just kind of continue through and return the actual tree. Maybe that's just fine. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So, I guess that's fine. How many lines are we even recording here? Yeah, I guess it's the problem when you're actually parsing all through. When it's working, you actually end up getting too much stuff. So, I mean, I don't think there's any reason to assume that we got the wrong line count now. Obviously, what we're not doing is setting the actual. You know, this push token isn't actually pushing the line number. Yeah, and also now that we're pushing the comment, and now we've got the idea of skipping contentless tokens, we should just be able to do this, shouldn't we? Just let it all happen. well, we needed to, that was it, wasn't it? We just needed to exhibit a thingamajig, an error. So that's apparently on line 258. It reckons that, hold on a second. Is that just not printing the correct thing? The current line is that. The T current line. So that shouldn't be that, should it? This should be the token, shouldn't it? The T file name. So expect token. It's definitely that area. 112. So I guess let's just jump into. Let's step into this error expectation line and just inspect what we've got. So we're at a token semicolon with a dest 0. Oh, the dest is 0. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, so I need to let that get through. Don't we? Well, I mean, having said that, you just step into the line, don't you? Gosh. So the dest is apparently still 0. Maybe that's fine. Really not sure. So we've got the file buffer. I'm looking at the outer file, which has 258 lines apparently. The current index is 157. So let's have a look at the token at 157, because that's what we want to be talking about. It's apparently a closing brace. Yeah, of course it is. On line 113. Right, line 113. Is that the right line? So it should be 112. Ah, but it's seen that one down here, so that is right. So I see. So error expectation. The current line. I wonder why it's seeing the current line as the final line in the file. Oh, it's when you're parsing later on. That'll be it, won't it? So by the time you've actually got out here, yeah, I see. You're talking about you're iterating through. Yeah, right. We're passing in the. What we're doing is we're scoping up the tokens, aren't we? Yeah. So we're in scope tokens. So we're just going through all of the tokens, making sure that they're all syntactically correct. This T current line ain't going to fly because this is just going to be set at the end of during the tokenization, and it's just going to remain as it was set at. So we want to be using instead exactly this thing here. It's the T. The T token that's what we actually want. And now we get the error saying that it's happening on 213, which is that, which is down there. I mean, that is right because it's received this on line 13, and this would equally be valid because we don't care about white space. So that should pass. Yeah, it does. So yeah, I guess that's just okay. 2598. Okay, I'm going to call it here because I'm very, very tired. And basically just sleep programming here. We've got it kind of working. Got the basics of it going. Got the idea of line counts. We are doing kind of. We're actually tokenizing comments and new lines now. I'm not 100% sure if tokenization of new lines actually needs to occur, or whether it's sufficient just to make sure that we just increment past the guys and just make sure that we actually count them up. I don't know, because we don't use them, you see. We don't actually, we're not printing out, like, we're not trying to reproduce this kind of structure in our printout, although that is something that we could potentially do. We're just literally currently printing out these guys. But I think it'd be an idea to actually work on the formatting of these things. We're literally just listing the stuff. I think maybe tomorrow. I think maybe let's get a few more error messages going through the error function, and then think about the styling of all this stuff. Maybe consider. Let's do a little note, and let's do up error. I always think of great expectations, by the way, when I see error expectation. Oh, dear me. So, to do that, we want to be doing Get more errors going through. Get more errors going through error. Format the actual errors. And also consider printing out the entire line. I'm not sure if we necessarily need to do that. Certainly not the surrounding lines. And also, like I say, we're not. Well, I mean that's the consideration, wasn't it? But if we are wanting to print out the entire line, we'll have to tokenize the white space as well, so we can actually print the goddamn thing. But yeah, I think for now, it's gonna be just get some more going through, and then format them, make them look a bit nicer. Because this is very kind of terse error. I expected that, received that. It's descriptive, but I don't know. Maybe it'll do. Who knows? Yeah, but that's all. So done it for 3 hours. An interestingly odd number of hours. Usually we do 2 or 4, but today we've done 3. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. Heroes and heroines. For staying awake with us. For parsing or tokenizing successfully. And yeah, I guess we'll reconvene tomorrow. So until then, farewell for now.